Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. We have a hard begin time. I am on time today. So, the first time in a long time have I been on time. I'm going to just do my audio check, make sure.
All right. Hello, traders.
Another thing here, make sure.
In a long time have I been on time.
All right. So, audio check comes back good. I'm going to jump into it. So each week I try to record a educational session for each and every one of you dealers, whether you are an aspiring dealer or you are already a functioning and open dealer doing business every day. So I make these live educational sessions to bring you information, to give you something that you should think about as it relates to managing and running your car lot. Okay, the whole goal is for you to level up to where you want to be. Whether or not you're there yet, or if you are already there, you may want to create another tier of expectation for your day-to-day business. So, so that's pretty much what we're doing today. I generally last about 30 minutes on these live educational sessions. However, if you want to work with me one-on-one, I do have a mentorship program where you can sign up to be one of my mentees, and I work with you one-on-one. For more information about that, you can visit my website, grindreloaded.com, and you can get that information on the prices and go ahead and sign up. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So today's topic is performing vehicle valuations for your used car lot. So it is so important that you understand that you have to know the numbers for the cars that you're buying. If you don't know your numbers, it's similar to trying to do a painting with no paint, right? You have to have the essential details, and understanding your valuation and your metrics is a key component of that picture. So it starts on preview day. So when you go out to preview the vehicle, you should have already looked at your values for your list of cars. So you have a number in mind, or you can do it at the time of your preview. Some people have the evaluation tools on their phones where they'll go car by car and pull up the value and have the numbers right in front of you, and then you can start to look at the other stuff about it that we're going to get into today. I don't want to jump ahead, but basically it starts on your preview day, and you should check the value on your wholesale category to determine how much you should pay for the vehicle. That's pretty much why you need to have it on preview day. So let's answer this question here. Why do we perform vehicle valuations? And the short answer is to secure your profit. Also, you want to understand your stop loss number. What is that number you stop at to keep from losing your profit? All right. The bottom line number you should pay for the car, essentially. Okay. So by performing that vehicle valuation, you will get that number. The number will be the number, period. Okay. It also makes it effortless to sell the car to the end buyer because now you have your numbers. All right. So you must know your retail value as well. So you have different categories in valuation. So the first category you have is wholesale, and then you have trade-in, and then you have retail. Okay. So if you are going to the auction as a used car dealer, you're going to be looking in the category first as a wholesale. Okay. You're going to look at the wholesale value, and that wholesale value is going to give you your numbers that you need to follow. Now, so once you do that, you're also going to look at your retail value as well to make sure that there's enough profit in there in the middle for you. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. But by doing so, you will ensure your profit. So essentially, the profit is the amount, and I have my notes here, guys. I'm looking down. I want to make sure I give it to you straight. Today was a long day for me, so I do have my notes, and I'm looking down at it. So by doing so, you will ensure your profit. The profit is the amount of money in between the initial cash position, so your purchase price, and the retail value. Okay, that number in between is your profit. Okay. It depends on how well you do at the auction to determine how much of that profit you're going to get. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. If you buy a car worth $3,000, okay, and you bought that car that's worth $3,000 for $1,300, your potential profit is 3,000 minus 13. So that gives you the in-between amount of $1,700, okay? So your potential profit based on that particular vehicle value is $1,700, okay? So you know that going in that you have an opportunity to make $1,700 if the numbers work out in your favor. So say for instance the wholesale value was $1,300, which is this is just a scenario. If the wholesale value was $1,300 and retail value was $3,000, you have a potential to make $1,700. Now, here you go. If you go to that auction and that vehicle goes for $1,500, anything over the wholesale value for that car, for that category that the car fits in, we're going to talk about different categories in a second as well. So for that category, wholesale says $1,300. Retail for that category of condition is $3,000 retail. So if that auctioneer goes over $3,000, now you're chipping away at your profit. So if the car ultimately sells for $1,400, your profit is now $1,600 potential, and so far and so on. And that is why it is so important that you understand your valuations to determine how much of this profit are you losing if you're trying to play. If you're trying to get up there just to get the piece of inventory, which is ultimately what is happening right now in 2021. Now, we're in January. This is outside of my notes. We're in January, so valuations or auction prices are typically higher anyway to give incentive to get higher numbers so that people can stock their inventory. Okay, so valuations right now are a little bit skewed. So I would say give or take 300 or 400 plus wholesale value right now. So that profit margin now shrinks down with the overage that you're going to pay. It shrinks. Profit is profit. The numbers are the numbers. They don't change just because of the time of the day. Okay, so that's very important. So that is why we perform the vehicle valuation, so that you can understand what your take profit is going to be. Okay, now so now let's go ahead and get into the second thing. How do we perform these valuations? Okay, so I just told you why you perform it, which is to ensure your profit, to ensure you're making the amount of money that you want to make. Let's talk about how we do those vehicle valuations. So the first thing you're going to need to have access to is your valuation books. Okay, these are the big three, which we're going to talk about in a second. But basically, you're going to have access to those books, and those books are going to let you scan that VIN number, and that VIN number is going to come back and say this vehicle is worth X. Okay, now you need to physically inspect the condition of the car. Okay, that's the second step in how we do it. The first thing is having access to the books. The second thing is physically inspecting the condition of the car. All right, now there are 4 categories in valuating vehicles. So there's 4 different conditions of vehicles. Okay, so there is the first condition. I'm going to go the least to the highest. So it's rough condition, average condition, clean condition, and extra clean condition. Okay, so those are the 4 conditions that the vehicle has to currently be in. Okay, now they're going to fall the vehicle is going to fall in one of those 4 categories. It is up to you to determine which condition that vehicle falls in. Okay, depending on the type of cars you're selling will depend on what categories of condition you will primarily deal with. If you're dealing with buy here, pay here, A to B cars, you're probably going to be looking at cars that are rough to average condition. Okay, if you're dealing with banks and finance companies, you may be buying a higher level of car. So your cars may be in the clean, average to clean, or extra clean condition. Okay, so depending on the condition of the car will dictate the value of the car. Okay, as well as mileage. Mileage plays a factor in the condition of the car as well. So most books will ask you for the mileage to determine if there will be a markdown based on that mileage. The average miles for I think is 15,000 miles right now currently. So if a car is doing more than 15,000 miles per year based on the model year, you will get some type of deductions potentially for that particular vehicle. Here's an example. If you have a 2017 Nissan Versa, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 4 years old, with 190,000 miles on it, that car is going to get some deductions taken away for the miles, okay? Because mileage is everything for cars. However, for me as a used car dealer, I know that mileage means nothing. But the perception is mileage equates value and worthiness and mechanical ability, okay? Let's put this thing on do not disturb. So there you go right there. All right. So those are the conditions of the cars, the categories of conditions. And let's go to the number 3. We're going to go right through this educational session today. Know the big 3. So let me spend some time on talking about the big 3. So the big 3 are on the screen. So the very first one is going to be KBB, Kelley Blue Book. Okay. Kelley Blue Book is primarily used on the West Coast. And it is very popular with retail customers. Most retail customers understand Blue Book and they know of this book. It is readily publicly accessible. Yeah, so that is the KBB. The NADA is primarily used on the East Coast of the United States. It is less popular to retail customers. It is publicly accessible to the retail customer as well. And then the third one is Black Book, which is rarely known by retail customers and is mostly used by your bigger lenders. So your big banks, your financial banks, they typically use Black Book as their metrics for evaluating how much money they will lend, as well as the value of that vehicle in the eyes of that financial institution. All right. So, and Black Book is also nationwide as far as the usage. Okay. So my hint of advice to you as a used car dealer, as a new used car dealer, I would tell you to use and subscribe to Black Book. And the reason you want to use Black Book is because it's going to give you the best comprehensive view nationwide. So it's not focusing on West Coast versus East Coast. It's going to give you just the nationwide snapshot, okay, which is important. Also, it's going to give you better expectations based upon lenders. So if you are creating a small dealership now, today, when you get up to the big or to the next level, you will already be used to these values and you will be able to play with the big boys. A lot of my information for you and my advice to you is always going to be about not thinking small forever. I want you to, yes, everybody starts small. Everybody starts where they are. I'm not going to say everybody starts small because some people could start with money and they start big and they may have small knowledge, but they have big bank accounts. So everybody that may not necessarily start small financially, but you have to start. But I also don't want you to keep yourself in this little tiny box and everything you do is so tiny and so small and on a micro level. All right. I want you to work more on a grander level, a macro level, expand out. OK. And by subscribing to the Black Book, you already be a way ahead on those valuation numbers. OK. The other one that we're going to talk about, and I didn't put this in here, is I didn't put it in my little banners here, is I'm going to show you in a second. It's going to be the Manheim Market Report, MMR. Most of you guys have heard of it. If you have been in the industry any ounce of time, you've heard of MMR. If you're new or aspiring to be a used car dealer, I'm sure you've heard of Manheim Auto Auction. This market report was developed and is controlled by Manheim. Manheim is probably arguably, I think it is, statistically and data proven to be the largest automobile auto auction in the United States. So they have their hands and antennas in all parts of the United States of America. And what they did was they created a pretty much based on their post-sales results, this big spreadsheet of values of what used car dealers or dealers, not even, well, new and used car dealers are paying for vehicles at their auctions Okay, so the MMR is exclusively for Manheim numbers. So it is arguably one of the most unreliable set of data you can find, because it is so centrist to just this one organization, that it doesn't encompass everything outside of it. Okay, and that's why it's so important to subscribe to Black Book or NADA or KBB, because these are not primarily in one company. It is looking at everything across the United States. Okay, outside of any particular auction. So the MMR is highly unreliable, only for wholesale valuations. So MMR is not going to tell you anything about the retail. It's only going to tell you about the wholesale numbers based on the particular region that you're in. I cannot stress enough, guys, that the MMR is one of the most unreliable sources for evaluating your wholesale purchases, because you have to really kind of get down to the numbers. They have what they call I forgot the term. Basically, they have a report that comes out that shows what the cars are actually selling for relative to the MMR. So there's a relative percentage that is like, it could be 125% MMR, right? So in addition to the MMR, add 25%, that's what the cars are actually selling for. So you have to know the relative rate, relative percentage for the MMR to even make sense. I don't recommend it. A lot of used car dealers use it because it's free. Let's talk about that for a moment. If you are opening a used car dealership and you're not willing to invest in the tool that can make you the most amount of money by knowing when to stop, what the values and what the worths are, you need to get out of the business. Okay? If you can't pay $79 a month to know what the value of a car is, this industry is probably not for you. Okay? That is all I would say in that regard. Okay? So I will go ahead and open it up for open discussion at this point. If you have a question for me based on anything that I've covered, please put it in your comments. We are moving right along tonight. It's been a long day for me at the dealership. I am committed to coming here and giving you guys this information, but I'm also committed to having a life outside of it. So let's go ahead and answer the questions. I'm going to go to the comments now. All right, no comments. I got Ricardo in the house. Hey, my brother, how you doing, Ricardo? Hope you've gotten a great deal of information out of this educational session today. Outside of that, guys, that's all I have for you. Just make sure you drive it home and understanding the importance of valuation, and understanding why you need to do it and how to do it, and understanding how to tap into those big three valuation models. So KBB is free. So KBB you can tap into free. NADA you can tap into free. But it would be a laborious task to go in there and check every car at auction. Or you can subscribe to their books in any type of valuation tools. There's one called AutoNeek, which I don't recommend. I recommend going straight to these sources and buying these valuation books directly from them. The site that I use, or the company I use again, is Black Book. Black Book Cherry, you can subscribe to it. I think it's $79 a month. It is unlimited pools. Okay, you can go to the auction and if they have 150 cars, you can scan all 150 cars and still pay the same $79 per month. Okay, very, very, very good site to have. It's on your phone. It has a scan. You scan the barcode on the auction ticket. If they don't have, if you are attending one of those mom and pops that don't print out the labels, just open the door. If it has the VIN plate, you can scan that. Very good tool, or you can just type in the information. But very, very, very good recommendation from me, Black Book Cherry. So yeah, so if you want to work more with me and not be rushed for time, I do have the mentorship program that I offer. If you want to know more about that, you can visit grindreloaded.com. I'll put it up on the screen now, and you can copy that website down, and you can go over there and tap into signing up to work with me 101. I would love to assist you where I can. You need to be ready to go as far as opening your dealership, or you need to be already open, ready mentally to allow me to get you the advice you need and be open to change. If you're not open to change, obviously don't sign up to be a mentee. As your mentor, I take my job serious to help you get to that next level. All right. So that's the website there. Also, it's in the description of this video. Once we get off live here, you can go there, click on the link, go over there and visit. You'll see the prices. You can sign up. Once you sign up, there's no money to be taken there. So if you sign up, send me your information. I can call you. We'll do a phone consultation to see if it works, if it's best for you to go through that program. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Every Monday, 8:15 Eastern time, I'll be here with a different topic. I definitely want you guys to help me in understanding what you want to learn. So in the comment section of this video, once we get off, hopefully all of you guys that are watching have hit the like button. But in the comment section, just drop some ideas, drop some suggestions as it relates to what type of information you want to know from me as a used car dealer. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care, be well, be safe. Stay focused on getting to the next level. I'll see y'all soon, man. Peace.